Hello to my fellow readers. Um, Unfortunately, I was unable to do my top five Wednesday yesterday because we have family visiting, so I didn't get a chance to make it, but I am making it this morning. So, this week's topic is top five summer reads. Now I'm not a seasonal reader, so I don't read specific books during the summer, but I listed I wanted to do this topic because one is I wanted to do a top five Wednesday on my birthday. So I went ahead and attempted it, and I was able to pick five, but it's more like books that I think could potentially be summer reads. Like there's a few that are they're all kind of fast paced and exciting books. At least that's what I think anyway. So hopefully people will see what I'm talking about and partly agree at least. Okay, so and these are in no particular order. Like I said, I don't normally read specific books during the summer. I just pick the first ones that popped into my head that I think would be good summer reads. So the first book I picked is, well, not a book, an author actually. Well, I did name one of his specific books on here because it's one of the ones I remember best. It was like one of the first ones I read by this author. Because I went through a Nicholas Sparks phase. I'm not a huge fan anymore because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like his books kind of got repetitive and a little boring. And I'm just not as into pure romance novels. I mean, I will read like classic romance, and there are some historical fiction that obviously that has romance in it that I would like Outlander, the Outlander series, or like Kate Morton puts romance in her books, although her books don't always end happy. The romance does not go well. So I'm romance is the one genre I'm picky about. But I went through, like I said, I went through a Nicholas Sparks phase, and the first two books of his that I read were A Walk to Remember and The Notebook. And the one I'm mentioning for number one of his books that I think would make a good summer read is The Notebook. And I say that because Notebook takes place, actually, it doesn't take place in kind of, it takes place within a period of years. But the plot centers around this summer romance between Noah Calhoun and Allie Hamilton, and it's the typical Cinderella story except for in the reverse, where the girl is the rich, high society young woman. Her parents have these high expectations for her to go to college, and she spends the summer in this small town with her parents and meets this boy Noah, and Noah is like the guy from the wrong side of the tracks. He works at the lumber yard or the railway yard, I don't remember. And they fall in love they meet over the summer while she's there and fall in love. It's this beautiful romance. But of course, her parents don't approve, particularly her mother. And eventually her parents take her out of this small town. They go back to the main city. I think Charleston, I want to say. Or like one of the repetitive aspects of his stories is all of his stories either take place in North Carolina or South Carolina. Which, I mean, the South is great. The Carolinas are great. I mean, I know from personal experience because, my grandparents live in South Carolina, and then both my mom's brothers live in South Carolina with their families, and I'm currently living in North Carolina, so nothing wrong with it. It just got a little, it would be kind of nice if his books took place somewhere else, but if it's an area he grew up with and he's familiar with, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just not. But anyway, like I said, it centers around summer romance, so that's why I think it's one of the reasons I think it's a good summer read. And it's also very fast-paced. Like, with the romance novels, unless they're like those big classic 500-page novels, most romance novels are so quick and easy, and you get through them fast. And, unless you want to, take your time with it, and I understand that, because with my normal go-to genre, sometimes I like to take my time with it. Except for there's some books I just have to keep reading, and I can't stop, so I don't, savor it all the time, or at least I'm so into it, and I think that's part of my problem why I don't remember my books that well. I know the general plot and the basics, but I forget like details and stuff. But and it's a very cute story. It does end happy. It doesn't end tragic, because I know some of Nicholas Sparks' books do end tragically. But it's just a beautiful story. I think it's a perfect summer read. Okay, so the next one I said is, let's see, I have to check. Let me move this little screen. Oh, okay, now I remember, The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is, of course, a classic, and one of the more modern classics. It takes place after the 1800s, in 1920s. It's about this guy, Nick Carraway. He lives in New York, and he moves to this small island where his cousin Daisy and her husband live. So he moves in next door he moves close to them. And they're the rich high society types. And next door to Nick is this mysterious rich neighbor that he's never met, who throws these lavish parties, and there's all these rumors about this man, he's called Gatsby, hence the title. And Nick one day gets lucky enough to get invited to one of these parties, and he meets Gatsby, and Gatsby is this charming, amazing, strange, mysterious man, and Nick finds out that Gatsby had a love affair with, well, not an affair because she wasn't married at the time, but had, this romantic relationship with Daisy Buchanan, Nick's cousin. So Gatsby is kind of using, he generally becomes Nick's friend, and helps him along in his, in his business ventures and all that, but he also uses Nick to get close to Daisy again, to reconnect with her, because he wants to restart up their romance. He wants to relive the past, so to speak. And so Nick invites Daisy and her husband, I can't remember the husband's name, I just remember that I do not like his character, to the party along with Daisy's friend. I can't remember her name either, who likes Nick, and the two of them have this little cute, flirty relationship, although nothing comes from that one. But to Gatsby's to his party, one of them, and Daisy and Gatsby reconnect. But of course, Daisy's married, and she doesn't want to cheat on her husband, and of course, naturally, even though Daisy kind of pissed me off, it's understandable that she's a little afraid to leave her husband, because, she's pretty well taken care of. Her husband's an ass, but, I still say that she's a bit of a coward, but, because she never really talked to Gatsby, she kind of just ran away from him. But anyway, I picked that as a summary because it's, again, just like Nicholas Sparks' book, it's very fast-paced, and I think the rhythm of the 1920s really helps make it more fast-paced. I personally just think it's a quick read, and it's a fun read. There's some people who I understand don't like The Great Gatsby, and, I don't know specific reasons why, but I can understand why they might not like it. I personally loved it. Hence why I'm recommending it as a summer read. And I think it will be perfect for the summer. Okay, now number 3. Now I know some people will disagree with this. And one second. My dog is asking to come in. No, nope, I'm sitting here. You can get up on the chair, but I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in the chair my dog likes to sit in. But, is big books. Over 500-page books. I mean, less than that is good too, but the summer, with me, I have free time almost all year round because unfortunately I'm unemployed. As I've said multiple times, I'm getting a job has proven a little more complicated than I realized, but I'm working on it. Anyway, that's whole nother story. But I have all the time in the world to read big books. I'm just more about me being necessary because big books are still a little intimidating to me. I've proven that I am capable of reading them. It took me 2 months to read Outlander, I think. I don't remember. I'm not 100%. And the same with Amber Spyglass. I still gotta read Voyager, though. Big books are, but for other people, especially students, the summer offers a chance to, you have more time to read them. You don't have as many responsibilities. The only thing that's keeping you from reading them is like your social life, which is understandable. Not everybody wants to spend their whole summer reading books. But you do have more time to read bigger books and to really concentrate on them because there's no schoolwork, there's no homework, there's no papers to write, there's no pressure from teachers, no pressure to get perfect grades, no major test that will get you into college, or no major test in your college classes to worry about because it's the summer, you're on vacation. Of course, I know that most people would rather read easy-read books, like romance novels or contemporary, but I think big books, my main reason for saying big books is because you have more time during the summer. Now, of course, if you are already an adult now in school, then it doesn't matter, because, except for when you're on vacation, you work all year round. Unless you're a teacher. If you're a teacher in the teaching profession, then yeah, you'll have the summer off. Unless you're a college professor, then you might not have the summer off because, kids will take summer courses. But, like I said, again, this whole thing, of course, is just my opinion, so, but I just think, big books, you have more time to read them during the summer. Okay, so number 4, I said anything by Sarah J. Maas. I am in love with Sarah J. Maas currently. I know she has some problematic elements, but I'm an addict for her books. And she's probably going to become an auto-buy author, but, of course, I'm automatically going to buy and stick with the series I'm reading because that's how I am as a reader. Unless I really have a problem with it, I will continue the series. But I am in love with Sarah J. Maas, so I'm a little biased to Sarah J. Maas, but I think Sarah J. Maas would be a great summer. Her books are great summer reads. They're fast paced, they're exciting. There's so much adventure, and the characters are so cool, And she has a thing for fairies, so a lot of her characters are fae related, or at least so far in her 2 series, because she's only written 2 series. But she's gonna write. She has Catwoman coming out. I know that. I know she's working on that one. And that's obviously not fae related, but Sarah J. Maas she's, like I said, thrilling and exciting, and there's so much adventure and action, and it's like I feel like, there will be periods in her books where you're bored. That's just, books are bound to have moments where you get bored, but Sarah J. Maas I love her books, and I think they're great summer reads, because and they're also, again, another fast-paced book. At least I think so. They're a little longer than a romance novel. Short, but they're shorter than a 500-page novel. So I think Sarah J. Maas would be a great summer reads. Okay, now the last one I said on here, let me refer back to my document. Okay. I was gonna say another classic like Jane Austen, but I decided to say, for the 5th one, number 5, a graphic novel. Now, graphic novels are they are perfect because it's very little to read. You know, you just have quotes and like thoughts of the characters, and you have also pictures. So it's the format is easier and quicker to read. You know, not just really short chapters, but you know, the format is very like simple, but still fun, and you still get a full story, a great plot, and you know, complex ideas. And I just think a graphic novel would be perfect for the summer. Now, granted, to be fair, I've only read like one graphic novel, and I don't even know if I finished it. The Gotham Sirens graphic novel about like Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn, which was good. It's actually one that my best friend Terry bought for me because she really wants me to get into graphic novels. I mean, she's not going to pressure me, of course, but I think she would really, you know. Unfortunately, graphic novels are like $20, and I don't want to get the little comic that has, you know, there's one story and then you have to keep buying issues. I want a graphic novel that has every. Actually, no, I didn't read the graphic novel Mouse, which is basically about this older man and his son, and the older man like can't let go of keeps remembering his time in the concentration camps of Auschwitz. And Rascal, come here. Sorry, my dog's asking to get out, and I want to get this video done. But it's in the form of animals. Excuse me. Like, the main characters are animals, but so that's the other graphic novel I read. I had to read that for school, which actually I enjoyed it. I'm just starting to get into graphic novels because I had no interest in them for a while, but then I read that one, and then my friend kept trying, Terry, suggested I read Gotham ones, because my only exposed to the whole Gotham Batman universe is those movies that came out in the 90s, and I remember I always liked it. I was a huge fan, but I didn't know a lot about the whole Batman universe. I remember really liking Riddler. He was my favorite villain, and that was partly because of Jim Carrey. He was the Riddler in Batman Forever. Ironically, though, people say that is an inaccurate interpretation. So, but I still, from what Terry has told me about the character, I really enjoy it. I still feel the same way I feel about the character. He's my favorite villain. But thanks to the TV series Gotham, I really like Oswald too. Anyway, that's off topic, but like I say, graphic novels. They're fast, they're easy to read. Even younger readers that just aren't into reading books, it would be a good place to start, I recommended them to my cousin to give to her little girl, so I guess that would make her my cousin too, my second cousin. She's not a big reader, and I recommended her to maybe start her out with those kind of books because they're fast, quick, and easy, and there's pictures in them, and there's not a lot to read, just like the thought bubbles, and maybe a description at the top of what's going on in the scene, and then dialogue between the characters, so you get a full story. It's more simply done. It's not like a whole descriptive paragraph on page after page. But because of that, I think that is a perfect summer read. I think it's a fun summer read. You get everything, but done in a simple way. Let's see, my Alice in Wonderland t-shirt, my newest one. We're all mad here. I love that phrase. There's actually a song called that. I don't know I can't remember who the artist is. Maybe S.J. Tucker or someone. But it's a song called We're All Mad Here, and it's about the whole Alice in Wonderland story. That's the only reason why ironically I didn't like the book, but I liked the whole Alice, what has come from the book since then. Okay, anyway, I am done. I don't want this video to be too long. I have this bad habit of going off on tangents. So that is my top 5 Wednesday. I will post the Goodreads group link on here. Down at the bottom in the description box. And Top 5 Wednesday was created by Ginger Reads Laney and is currently hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. Alright, thank you for listening, my fellow readers. Bye-bye.